Welcome to a new lecture in CS Professional New Syllabus ESG. And today we will be looking at the Infosys ESG report. Yes, this Infosys ESG report is something which will give you a complete overview of the syllabus which we have. See, in CS Professional New Syllabus, whatever you study, almost everything is there in this Infosys ESG report. Our subject is ESG, environment, social and corporate governance, which is governance. And in Infosys report, it is exactly what we study. So let us have a look at this report and understand this so that you get a clear idea. So first thing is that in this Infosys ESG report, they are saying that ESG is an opportunity. So everyone thinks that ESG is just compliance, we have to do this. But as a company, we are wanting this to be an opportunity which will help us to grow, because today no company can ignore environment, social and governance simply for the sustainability factor of the company. Just to ensure that company survives and company does well in the long run, we have to look at the environment in which the company is functioning. So when we look at this, ESG is an opportunity, then the report is so well designed. See, there is a section about environment, there is a section about social, and there is a section about the corporate governance. So very briefly, I'll just show you. This is exactly in a syllabus also. See the report, see, as a company secretary, we have to also prepare the report. So in the report, what will be there? The introduction, the highlights, correct? The approach to reporting. What are the factors which the Infosys company has kept while reporting? Corporate overview about their company a little bit. Then they talk about the performance on environmental goals, climate change, water, waste management. Then coming to social, how do we have performance on social goals? How has the company performed? Enabling digital talent, tech for good, diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI, which is a very big requirement in the corporate boards nowadays. So that means having different background of people, having women on the board of directors. So these kind of things. Energizing local communities, employee wellness and experience. So all these things are there in the social. Then coming to corporate governance, which is our core area, they talk about performance on the corporate goals, the corporate governance, data privacy. If you remember, in the CS ESG subject, there is one entire chapter relating to data, right? And information management. How does the company do? So this is the brief which they have. So they say here, ESG is an opportunity. They are telling most companies know that being socially conscious is responsible and non-negotiable today. See, today companies cannot say that we will not be conscious towards the environment, because for their own survival they cannot do it. And also all the norms and policies and laws and regulations in the whole world is changing towards an angle where everything has to be sustainable environmentally, economically, socially, and obviously corporate governance should be good. See, many companies, especially small and medium companies, they think that if we are doing ESG, then when will we make profits? But in the long run, if you want to survive as a company, you cannot live in the past. You have to adapt to the changes which are there. And you have seen in history, whether it is technological changes. So many companies has closed down. Even in one lecture I told you about Kodak. Kodak was the world's leader in cameras, in film and all of that. The technology moved towards digital, but Kodak was stuck. They said that no, we will not move. So other companies like Sony, they took off because they adapted to change. So today the change is about how will we be socially conscious, environmentally sustainable and economically sustainable and maintain corporate governance. So don't think that if we are environmentally sustainable, we will not make profits or we'll start making lesser money. There is no connection relating to that. So ESG is an opportunity which we all know, and Infosys is a company where they want to integrate ESG practices, businesses and effectively mitigate the risk associated with the environmental and social challenges. The whole world is facing environmental challenges, social challenges, wars are happening. For this, corporates have to be very conscious in which playing field they are, where are they doing their business. They have to be conscious towards that. long-term sustainability and minimizing the negative impact. So they're looking at long-term, that is, a company should start thinking of 100 years. You cannot tell, oh, the board will not be there, no, nobody will be alive. So if that was the case, we have a classic example of the Tatas. Tatas is one of the biggest business houses in India. So if the founders of Tata never thought about 100 years, Tata would not have completed 100 years today. So the problem is we are only thinking of next 3 months. And as a listed company, yes, you have to show quarterly results. Every 3 months you should show result to your shareholders, and shareholders want your company to do well. So it is short term in terms of financial result, but you have to be long term in terms of the company's sustainability. Company should be able to survive for 100 years, and the looking forward, any company today should think of obviously economic and business, that is the core, but along with that social factors, environmental factors, good corporate governance. This is what makes the company survive and thrive in the long run. So that is what Infosys is there. So we believe in conscious about creating a sustainable business, including more people in the vision. All that they've given the introduction. Then they've given some overview about the company, that is what is the environmental impact. They've done 49.92 reduction in greenhouse gas emission, GHG's greenhouse gas emissions, they have reduced it. Then CDP climate leadership in a row, that means they have been very good in their reporting relating to sustainability reporting. They have been very good. The world's most ethical company, they have got an award as world's most ethical company. So like they have some ISO certifications for managing things like environmental management standard certified, then business continuity management standard certified. So they have been doing very well, and their standards are great, and they're telling their shareholders and they're telling the public that what all they have done. Then they have a brief idea about what is there in the report. They've given you an overview. Then where all countries they are functioning, all that is fine. Next we will go to the corporate governance report, and that angle we'll try and study. Yeah. So if you look at it over here, they are also telling what are the UN SDGs that they have aligned with. United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, that is UN SDGs. United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals which the United Nations has given, which all countries have to follow by 2030, and also companies have to follow. Along with countries, the companies also have to follow. So in this they said that in the corporate governance angle, quality education, gender equality, decent work, economic growth, industrial innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequality, sustainability cities, peace, justice and strong institutions, partnership for the goal. So these are the 8 goals which Infosys has complied with relating to the corporate governance angle of the company, along with United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. So if you see this company, there are many more companies, but the standard in India, the company which started corporate governance and disclosures and reporting in a very widespread manner and very ethical manner was Infosys. That is why I am taking this example. If you see, they have to comply with Companies Act, they have to comply with SEBI, then any other regulations relating to Foreign Exchange Management Act, and obviously tax related, which I am not mentioning here. Then in ESG reporting, you have GRI, Global Reporting Initiative, they have to comply with that. Infosys is going one step more. They are telling that we are also aligning our entire company vision with United Nations SDG, Sustainability Development Goals, Sustainable Development Goals. So just imagine how focused the company is and how they are navigating different compliances. That is the Indian government. Under Indian government, you have so many different laws like Company Law, Foreign Exchange Management Act, tax related laws, local laws. Every city, every state has laws, plus Global Reporting Initiative of Sustainability Reporting, and then they are also talking about United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So that is why they are a market leader when we talk about reporting. So governance, what is their governance vision? Serve the interest of all the stakeholders by leading through our core values. So what is their core values? Obviously good corporate governance and ethics is what they want to do. So in corporate governance, data privacy, information management, what are their ambitions and what are their progress in the year 2023 they are giving you. Let us just see one or two to give you a brief idea. So they are saying ensuring robust compliance and integrity practices, because it is directly connected to company secretaries, I am telling. So they have an ambition to have robust compliance and integrity practices in the whole company. And then if you see here, they have completed 46 of top 400 top 100 suppliers. They have completed the assessment. Whoever supplies to them, even they are ESG compliant. Infosys has recognized one of the world's most ethical companies for third year continuously. They have been given the rank. We continue to lead ESG assessment in India and globally. So in ESG assessment, they are one of the leading companies in the whole world. So that is what they are telling over here. Okay. All right. Then they're talking about ESG governance. ESG governance, and they're talking about, if you see all the disclosures here, if you can see here the disclosures, they're mentioning Nandan Nilakani, non-executive, non-independent director. Executive director is Salil Parekh, who is also the CEO. Independent directors, Mr. Sundaram, Gibbs, Yuri, Bobby, Chitra, Govind Iyer. So there are 62.5% Indians, 37.5% foreign national. And talking about diversity, they have 12.5% women on the board and they want to increase it, which is again a great thing. So if you see here, they have the board at the top, then ESG committee, and then the ESG council. So this is how they have structured themselves over here. So why I am showing this report for you, the main reason which we should understand is that whatever we study, we can get a perfect example in this particular report. Almost everything which we cover is there. So if you see our next thing, integrity and compliance, which is part of the ESG subject, part A. We study a lot of it in effective board, in disclosures, in overview of corporate governance. We study all of this and integrity and compliance. So how are they compliant? See here, code of conduct on ethics. This is something that they've been doing. Then local compliance officer program, ethics training. So all this is mandatory. And if you remember, anti-bribery, anti-corruption practices. So this is again a mandatory provision which we also study. So how are companies trying to stop bribery, how trying to stop corruption, what are they doing? So if you see here, the management is reviewing this. Infosys is committed and responsible for anti-bribery, anti-corruption risk management framework, and we demonstrate a comprehensive risk management program to reduce the risk by regularly assessing the risk in alignment with its growth strategies. So they are ensuring they are doing risk management, which is part B, correct, in our syllabus, part B, 20 marks, one chapter we have risk management. So that is also something that they are doing. Anti-competitive practices policy, export control policy, whistleblower policy, which we study in a huge depth in whistleblower. What happens in whistleblower? If there is any sort of fraud or scam or misdoings in the company, the employees or directors or whoever has recognized that, they should have the freedom to report it. They should have the freedom to go and complain. And that is possible only when there is a whistleblower policy. Whistleblower policy was amended in January 2022 in Infosys. It is comprehensive and well-designed mechanism that encourages employees, vendors, customers, and any other stakeholders to report any unethical conduct violation of the applicable laws of the company's code of conduct and ethics within the company. So everybody has given the freedom that if there is any non-compliance, that they can report it and they will be protected. They will not be targeted for their reporting. So compliance proof testing, use of technology for compliance monitoring. So Infosys has implemented compliance program over covering 80 countries and 14 regulatory areas across major business functions in September 2018. The program ensured a self-assessment of the compliance status against a compliance framework with a maker-checker process built into it. So they have a software which they have built which will ensure that the compliance of all the countries in which they are operating is in one place, and they have a concept of maker-checker. So somebody prepares the document, somebody else checks the document. So that is maker come checker concept, which again they have implemented. Okay, all right. So in everything they have done the correct concept, the company Infosys. Then they talk about other things, more of business related things they are talking over here. All right. Yeah, data privacy. We have one whole chapter which is data privacy in our syllabus. So let us have a look at what they are reporting and how we can learn. So there is greater adoption of digital and emerging technologies. Everything we do, the tools and technologies that we use at work have brought great deal of operational ease and efficiency, making life much simpler. So for that reason, data privacy regulations around the world are demanding greater accountability. That means data privacy is more and more important as we go further in the world right now. And for that reason, Infosys has Data Privacy Office, an independent function, ensures careful balancing before deploying them. So they have taken the leadership of their having their own data privacy office in Infosys, and these are the steps they are taking. So that is why in this subject you have to be extremely practical and you have to study this, not just what is there in the book. What is there in ICICI book is great, but that is not sufficient. We have to see how it is being practically implemented by companies. And just going through this report, there is so much we are already learning. I hope you are getting it. Simply we are reading in the book, data privacy should be there, data privacy company should ensure, but how are they ensuring? So in exam you can even write this example. For example, the company Infosys has a data privacy office which is independent function and ensures careful balancing before it is deployed. You can write this in exam, and this is what gives you that extra marks compared to just writing what is there in the book. So I hope you are getting that how we are going to use it in these classes, these kind of reports. Okay, all right. Next, okay, next that they're talking about the DP governance framework, which is nothing but data privacy. What is the framework which they're adopting? The details we don't have to go through, but they're basically telling what are all the methods in which. So the more the details, the better it is for the company to report. And information management is the next thing. What is information management? See, especially for a software ITES company, they have to deal with loads and loads and loads of information and loads and documents, online records. So how do they manage all that? How is everybody safe? Infosys cybersecurity is amalgamation of cybersecurity strategy that is aligned to the business goals, Infosys cybersecurity framework, and a strong cyber governance program. So they know the risk of cyber threats. See, in your individual level, you might have heard somebody got scammed on Instagram, WhatsApp, and they lost money in Google Pay. Individual level, imagine at company level, thousands of crores can be lost if you don't have the right cyber security. And for that, they have a very good approach over here. So what is their approach? Secure by design, secure by scale, secure the future. They are ensuring that nothing will go wrong even in the future. Why? Maximize visibility, optimize the cost, and innovate faster to ensure that there is no problem in the information management of the company. Okay. All right. So this they come and they're telling in the end. So let us go to the environment related. So I told you about the introduction, ESG, then governance. So whatever we studied, who are the directors, independent directors, those the disclosures they have given about data privacy, they have given information management, they have given. So corporate governance, data privacy, information management, everything which is there in your syllabus, they have reported, right? So it's easy for you to understand and connect it. The report design itself, ESG, what the company has done, how it has complied, we have understood here. So coming to the environmental factors. So introduction, all this is there. Good. Yeah. So environmental vision. Serve the preservation of our planet by shaping and sharing technology solutions. So they realize that if we don't protect our planet, we don't have a safe future, and that is why they are aligning it towards that. And as I told you, not only they are complying with Indian law, Foreign Exchange Management Act, I'm giving you the bird's eye view, but also UN Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals, as you can see, there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and in this particular environmental factor, they are complying with 12 of them. No poverty, good health, quality education, gender equality, clean water, obviously affordable clean energy relating to environment, decent work, economic growth, sustainable cities and companies, okay, and communities, responsible consumption, climate action, life on land, and partnership for the goals. So to ensure that all the goals are met, goal number 17 of sustainable development goals is that it is there in our syllabus also. We have to study sustainable development goals, and this is how it works. Okay, so what have they been doing relating to this? We will not go into the science related aspects, but try to understand climate change, water and waste management. So for example, let us say waste management. What is their ambition? Ensuring zero waste to the landfill. That means we should not throw things in an industrial scale which just goes to the landfill, which is again goes to the land. Once it goes into the land, again it goes into the water, it pollutes rivers, it comes back to us indirectly. We embarked on a journey for obtaining true zero waste certification through GBCI for our owned campuses in Bangalore, Chennai and Pune. So they really want to have zero waste certification. That means truly they are zero waste, means you're not like just doing something on the surface. So they have started that process because their vision is to go truly zero waste. Water, maintaining 100% wastewater recycling every year. So wastewater is whatever water we use in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in the toilet, all this is wastewater, or cleaning, gardening, all that water which goes wastewater. So Infosys wants to maintain 100% wastewater of recycling every year. They want to recycle 100% of it and make it again clean, usable water. 100% of the wastewater in the Infosys campus is recycled. So they have achieved it and they'll continue to do it. That is what they're reporting. Same way for climate change, what is their goals? Reducing greenhouse gases by 75%. So they're getting there. So they achieved 49% here, 50% here. So they are on the path of doing it. They are not saying we did everything, and they also can't tell what they have not done. Whatever has happened, they have to report that. That is the concept of reporting in any law. So which is very great. So they want to be carbon neutral. All these things are there. Then emission. What are the emission structures they are planning? Renewable energy, greening the energy mix. So to ensure that, see, they have solar plant. You can see here solar plant in Hyderabad campus. They have a solar plant. Then they have a command center which controls all the aspects. If you see here, biogas unit they have maintained in the Mysore campus. So like that, there are multiple things which they have done, which you need to get an idea. Okay, so we will just go to the waste management, all the details. We don't have to go through this in detail. We'll come to the social. Next important thing for us, what is their social vision? Environment, social and governance. So first I covered governance, then we had a brief look at environment. Social, which is very important in today's world. Serve the development of people by shaping a future with meaningful opportunities for all. So they not only they want to just have people, but the people should feel it's meaningful, they should get jobs, everything. And Infosys, I think, hires around 350,000 people in the whole world, which is a huge number. So they are doing it step by step for this matter. Yeah. Again, see here, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals has been aligned with what Infosys is doing. Remember, if every company does this, if every country does it, obviously as a world we will meet the target of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We will become sustainable. So Infosys is telling we are doing our part. We are doing our part, and that is over here. They have benchmarked it. See, they have benchmarked it with the social angles, with decent work, gender equality, reduced inequalities, peace, justice, strong institution, and obviously industry, innovation, infrastructure, and partnership for the goals they have done. So what have they covered here? How have they performed on social goals? Enabling digital talent at scale, tech for good, diversity, equity, inclusion, then local communities, and employee wellness and experience. How are their employees feeling and how are their employees doing over here? So again, they've given what is their ambition and what is their progress. We don't need the details right now, but you need to understand what all has to be reported. And this process takes quite a few months to report this. Whether it is Infosys or any company which is doing it seriously, there are different departments where the team which drafts this, the company secretary team, has to collect data, then draft it, then get it reviewed by each and every team which has given the data, ensure it is correct, because whatever you put in, you can't go wrong even with one word or one data or one disclosure. So this is a process which happens, and they're doing it really well. So digital talent at scale, to have the employees. So if you see here, they're telling their employees to learn continuously. All that is fine. Tech for good. We'll come to what is there in our syllabus, which is diversity, equity, inclusion. This is there in our syllabus and which they have complied with as Infosys. Non-discriminatory equal opportunity at workplace for the vision of taking everyone forward. So whether it is women, men, people with disabilities, people who are in the low level, people who are in the high level of the jobs, mid management, lower management, for everybody they want to give a common platform, and they give that equity and inclusion of everyone. So diversity doesn't mean just men and women. Diversity means people with diverse backgrounds, people with diverse culture, people with diverse ethnicity, foreigners, Indians, Africans, Americans, white people, black people, brown people, things like that. So all types of diversity they are trying to do, and this is a global concept where DEI itself is a specialization. If you want, you can specialize in diversity, equity, inclusion, and how companies and boards can try to achieve it, because it is a requirement under ESG, right, under the social factors. Okay, so DEI governance, what are they doing? What are the different programs which they have signed to? Our global membership. So United Nations Global Compact, Infosys is a signatory. Signatory to Women's Empowerment Principles, WEP. Signatory to UN Fair Equal for LGBTQ plus Charter for Business. So LGBTQ is people who have a different sexual orientation, right? So lesbian, gay, bisexual, like that. So is the company open to such people? Are they giving them a level playing field? Is the question where this is mentioned, and Infosys is part of it. So all the angles. So please look at it as a big picture or how they are complying with all the different angles. See here, women, 39.4% women in the workforce in 2020, which is great. Infosys has 40% women, which is amazing. Most companies will have 5%, 10%. So they are trying to get that concept of diversity, equity, and inclusion of everybody in the workforce to ensure that nobody is feeling left out and everybody is part of it. 26% of women from the Orbit Next program have been promoted. So many people have got promotion. Then 450 women leaders have completed the Lamte Future program, which is one program which so they're just telling all their achievement. Then how are they helping families of the employees? How are they helping families of the employees? So what are the programs which they have got into? So all these things are covered over here. Then if you see here, energizing local communities, that means the area in which they are working. So CSR programs. So Infosys Australia, New Zealand CSR program, what have they done in the program? Education, what have they done? How are they helping everybody? So these kind of reports and disclosures is what they are giving, as you can see. So each country what they have done, because they operate in more than 80 countries, in each country what have they done, they have to report. So as a whole, this is, it's a company registered in India, so all this has to be mentioned over here. Employee wellness, how are they ensuring that? So total number of employees, I told you know around 3,50,000. See here, 3,43,234 employees they have. 82% employee are satisfied with their job, which is again great. 1,14,000 new hires. So they have given employment to so many people, more than 1 lakh. 91% local hires across geography. In India, they have hired Indians. In other foreign countries where they are working, they have hired the localite. So they are giving employment for local. 77% of senior management personnel are hired locally. So this is also great. So all the things which is right and good, they are doing. They're treating the employees well. They're retaining them. Nobody is just leaving the job because of different reason. So all these things are something which we need to. They're giving training. See here, training and awareness to employees, health and safety. So everything which is right, they are doing, and they have got also a lot of awards for how they have maintained their employees, their workplace, and people around them. They have also got a lot of awards for the same. So this is what we need to get a brief idea. And please understand one thing, whether it is Infosys, whether it is some other company, it is important. Yes. Okay. Whether it is Infosys, whether it is some other company, it is really important that ESG reporting has become a necessity today. No company can escape from it. And Infosys is just one report. So even in the classes when I'll be taking reference to different company reports, and what you study in the ICICI book, I'll directly show it to you how it is given in the report. Like we had an overview today. So this way you will be able to understand a practical approach to what is there in your book, and it is easy to understand and easy to write in the exam, and obviously easy to get more marks. So this is how our classes are going to be, and this is just a brief idea of what was there in the Infosys report, which is there in your syllabus. So I hope you understood that, and if you want to know anything more, please let us know. And if you are looking for the classes, if you are looking for the CS Professional new syllabus classes, you can get in touch with us. 973-973-3400 is our number. You can join the classes, and we'll be covering all the subjects of CS Professional, not just ESG. So all the 7 subjects in new CS Syllabus Professional program we have the classes, so you can get in touch with us. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video relating to ESG, CSR, and all the other subjects in professional. Thank you.